Welcome to Myownzone TV. Psalm chapter 55 verse 22 says, "Cast your cares on the Lord, and He will sustain you. He will never let the righteous be shaken." As a child of God, you'll never have to worry when the Creator of the universe is on your side. He is willing and able to carry any burden you may have. Now get ready for some inspiring music videos, powerful spoken word, great health tips, and awesome interviews. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Say, dawg, my name Myownzone Jr. I directed this video. Hello.
Yes, I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed, yeah. Throughout my trials and tribulations, throughout all my tests, I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed, yeah. Throughout my trials and tribulations, throughout all my tests, I'm still blessed. I got beauty for ashes, I got joy for the sorrow, a greater praise for the Lord above. See, He holds my tomorrow. When I give birth to my baby boy, something new birthed inside of me. Rescue from the hands of death. Now I have a new song. Yes, I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed, yeah. Throughout my trials and tribulations, throughout all my tests, I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed, yeah. Throughout my trials and tribulations, throughout all my tests, I'm still blessed. Gotta learn not to complain. Count your blessings in the midst of your pain. See past the storms and the rain. Know that there will be some brighter days. Still there's mama who was dear to me. Took a last dying breath. Although it ripped out a part of me, I must confess that I'm still blessed.
Throughout my trials and tribulations, boy, I'm still blessed. I read the word when I'm down, they help me kill stress. Wife almost died giving birth, that's a real test. Feel like the world on my shoulder, but I still press. Man, I felt helpless as I watched my mama fight cancer. I saw her take her last breath as a life cancer. I cried out to God, Lord, I need answers. But then I thought about the bloodstained banner, and how you sent your only son to bring life to us. A dark time in our life, you brought light to us. That's when I know that I've been healed by the best. So when I think about it all, Lord, I know that I'm
Yes,
still blessed.
I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed, yeah. Throughout my trials and tribulations, throughout all my tests, I'm still blessed. I'm still blessed, yeah. Throughout my trials and tribulations, throughout all my tests, I'm still blessed. Say B-L-E-S-S-E-D if you're blessing along with me. Say B-L-E-S-S-E-D if you're blessing along with me. B-L-E-S-S-E-D if you're blessing along with me. Say B-L-E-S-S-E-D and if you're blessing along with me. Say B-L-E-S-S-E-D if you're blessing along with me. Say B-L-E-S-S-E-D if you're blessing along with me. B-L-E-S-S-E-D if you're blessing along with me.
Say, dawg, my name Myownzone Jr. I directed this video. Hello.
Interview shot, take one, marker.
Okay, my name's Rachel Zafaradis, and I was born in the United States, but my grandfather's from Greece, so that's why I like to speak some Greek. Yeah, I was born in Ohio, but now I live in Arizona. My first memory of music. Mom and Dad would always play Michael Card and Keith Green, so those are probably my biggest first memories of music. And I remember asking my mom what the difference between was with writing a song and making a song up. And she's like, well, when you make a song up, you just put words to a melody that's already there. But when you write a song, that's what Michael Card does, and you make up everything, the words and the music. And I'm like, I want to write songs. So that's when I started kind of writing songs. When I start writing a song, it's usually a thought or a concept. And that could be whatever, like different people I work with who say something inspirational, or a pastor giving a message, or even something like reading a book on a planet, or a philosophy concept or whatever, but the center of my music has to do with the gospel and sharing Jesus. So my mind's always thinking of how could I tie that concept into the gospel, and someone of that interest making the connection with how that ties into Jesus, because he does hold all things together, and it's amazing how he really can be found in anything we study. So if that's for me to write a song, it's like, how can I use this to relate to someone to share the gospel? So that's pretty much the process every time. So I didn't actually choose this guitar. This was a gift from my dad to my mom, and he got her this guitar. So then I got interested and I started playing it. So it's still like her guitar, but I just use it all the time, and she lets me use it. And so yeah, it's kind of always different. I would say, again, it first starts off with a thought, and then the thought, sometimes I'll pick up my guitar. Sometimes if I'm at work and I don't have an instrument in between phone calls, the whole thing will come to me, like literally, and it'll just be like a poem. And then I'll come home, grab my guitar, put it to music. Every time I write a song, it's completely different. But it's just amazing how it all is the Lord, because there's sometimes where I feel something come over me that's not me, where the whole song's written in like 10 minutes, and I'm like, wow, God, that was you, and it's not me. So I can't explain it. Just kind of like every time Jesus healed someone, it was different. Every time God works in our life, it's different. So when God inspires me to write a song, every time it's different, because that's how God works. It's not like in a box. He always does something to surprise us. So, how many different languages? Well, I love languages. And again, that ties into the theme of my music, because it's about sharing Jesus with everybody. So even if it's like different subjects, like I said, whether it's like astronomy, philosophy, just people who are hurting, relating to those people, it's relating in different languages too. English, Spanish, and Greek are my main languages, and hopefully Hebrew in the future. So, I don't speak Hebrew yet, yes, but Lord willing, I'll speak it as much as I sing it. That would be nice.
So fight the good fight, because you're all in the wars between you and me. Can't you see? You come follow me, come follow me.
It's all about Jesus, the gospel, everybody hearing, yeah.
Spiritual myth.
I'ma see, well look at me. Tell me what else did you think that I would be? I am free to believe. Your opinions don't mean anything to me. And it's joy that I have. Didn't give a can't take it away. For my God, got my back. So I never really worry, no. You know this joy I got, you can't take it from me. You see this peace I get, it can be yours too. I'ma see, well look at me. Tell me what else did you think that I would be? I am free to believe. Your opinions don't mean a thing to me. And it's joy that I have. Didn't give it, can took it away. Oh my God, got my doubts, got my back. So I never really worry, no. You know this joy I got, you can't take it from me. See this peace I got, it can be yours.
'Cause I'm drowning, I'm sinking fast, overwhelmed by the currents of life. And I need you
You know this joy I got, you can't take it from me. See this peace I got, it can be yours too.
Not intense camera. My God.
Al sonido de mi voz, yo oro y creo y declaro el milagro de Dios para tu vida. Donde Dios hace las cosas nuevas, donde no había, Dios hará. Lo que estaba torcido se endereza. Lo que estaba muerto viene a vida. Lo que estaba en oscuridad viene a la luz. Oh, lo que estaba enfermo recibe sanidad. Lo que estaba en desierto se convierte en un manantial en tu vida. Dios me ha traído y me ha puesto en este momento para dar una palabra de nuevos comienzos, de restauración. Aún lo que estaba muerto resucita. Even when it was dead, come to resurrection at the sound of my voice. In Jesus Christ's name. En el nombre de Jesucristo, oro y declaro el milagro sobre tu vida. Aquel hijo que se fue de casa, regresa. El divorcio se restaura tu familia, tu matrimonio. El negocio viene a un estado mayor. Como dice su palabra, la gloria postrera viene a ser mayor que la primera. Yo declaro eso y oro en tu vida, en tu ministerio, en el nombre de Jesús. Amén.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Christian Obobor. I am a board-certified family medicine physician and I currently practice medicine in Houston, Texas. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. This is a disorder that's quite prevalent among our military population. But it's not only those in the military that suffers from this disorder. There are people that have experienced some traumatic events in their lives. There are people that have been abused and others that have gone through something stressful in their life that are also affected by this disorder. Sometimes, if it's a military veteran who saw something in the field, they typically would tend to relive those moments over and over again. In the situation again of a military individual who saw something in the field, certain things like loud noises, certain smells can sometimes trigger the symptoms whereby they start to relive those moments that were stressful to them. Sometimes these people will tend to avoid other people, avoid crowded rooms to keep from experiencing the symptoms of their stressors. So what is an example of post-traumatic stress disorder? A good example would be someone in the military who has gone to war and seen something on the field that is very disturbing to them or traumatizing to them. And as they leave, as they return from the field, they tend to relive these moments in their life or have triggers of things that remind them of these moments in their life. Well, there are several ways you can treat post-traumatic stress disorder. Treatment can range anywhere from just counseling by seeing a mental health specialist, a counselor who specializes in the field of treating post-traumatic stress disorder, and they can offer therapy to treat. There are also medicinal methods of treating where you can be treated with medications. So there are several ways that this disorder can be treated effectively. Another good example of PTSD is in the form of abuse. There are people who have gone through an abuse, be it physically or sexually, whereby the experience was so traumatic to them that they tend to relive it in their daily lives. These people will typically have triggers of things that can lead to them, reliving that particular traumatic event in their lives. Triggers can range anywhere from particular smell, being in a crowded room, or just seeing people or things that sometimes remind them of the experience that they went through. Well, there are several arrays of symptoms that can result from suffering from this particular disorder. Anything from depression, anxiety, agitation, aggravation, and in some cases, patients who suffer from this disease may even resort to violence. We have to be as a society, we have to be very observative to people who may have risk of this particular disorder. If you know somebody that may have some silent symptoms of PTSD, depression, anxiety, having difficulties coping with others, having difficulties keeping jobs, irritable, someone who has a background that could suffer from PTSD in your family, it is very important that you encourage them to seek help, to seek medical help. Hello, I am Dr. Christian Ogbebo, and you are watching Myownzone TV.
I want to give a big shout out to Myownzone TV. That is the station to be at. These guys are the best. You get all your information, news on artists and things that are going on around the world. Shout out, Myownzone TV. Go watch it.
No man knows how or when his test will come.
Not greedy? You have to get your family out. I'm gonna get out of the car!
My story would not be complete without two other families who each faced their own struggles.
Say hi to Randy Hartley.
It's nice to meet you, William.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Mr. Hartley.
Daddy has to work. Again?
War is breaking out, and you're hiding behind your woman and your little hut.
You know I have no choice but to join them.
For a fight that isn't ours.
Your husband belongs to us.
Everything okay up there? I'm just doing my best to provide for them.
The best thing you can provide is you, Randy.
Why did you want to be with Militia and not with us?
It was the only way you could protect us.
Get out of here! Stop! Get out of the car!
This might be your best way out of here.
I could never leave my family.
Andrea, open the door right now.
I don't know why you come home at all.
These words cannot contain the love that I have for you.
It's so good to see her.
Next.
I work non-stop just to provide all this.
We are losing her.
You still.
Take me home.
What is your problem? Why is my family falling apart?
He must know what happened.
Everyone is broken in some way, Andrea. Who knows how God will use your pain?
This was not your fault. It is not who you are.
This came for you.
I think it's time for me to make good on that promise I made to you. Trip to Africa.
Holding on to the past will only destroy what lays before us. What I can do is forgive.
Your daughter saved our family.
You are very sneaky. We love surprises.
Your life is not where you've come from, but what you do with the days before you.
Kenny Randall, Jaime, some real. They gon' feel this. My God matters. Let's go.
I need something real in my life. Talk about Jesus Christ. You're the one who paid the price. I need something real in my life. Talk about Jesus Christ. I'm talking about Jesus Christ. Hey.
I was born in the jungle, gorilla in these streets. Money, cars, and clothes, but my life ain't complete. Some of the baddest ladies around, but my life ain't complete. When I look in the mirror, destruction's all I see. God pulled me out the trash can, He rescued me. Going hard for the Lord, taking it back to the streets. Still fly as a bird, strapped with this word. Connecting down in birds without the truth is absurd. Still swinging 84s to the curb. Candy red line going down, watch it swerve. The difference is now Jesus Christ, I put Him first. He gave His life, paid the price. I know my worth. You can gain the whole world without Christ, there's something missing. A letter to my partners in the hood, I hope they listening. God changed my heart, cardiac position. I'ma lift them up, give them praise, that's my mission. Something real.
I need something real in my life. I'm talking about Jesus Christ. You're the one who paid the price. I need something real in my life. I'm talking about Jesus Christ. And you ain't gotta ask me twice. Yeah, yeah.
I need Jesus in my life, something authentic. When I speak it on the mic, you know that I meant it. I need Him in my life like a car needs wheels. Need something I can feel, hey man, you know the deal. I need Him in my life like a house need a roof. To God be the glory, reaching out to the youth. I need Him in my life like a bird needs wings. There's no limit to the height, you can fly with the king. I need Him in my life like a pencil needs paper. Don't wait till later, He's a lifesaver. I need Him in my life like a fish needs water. Need Him in my life like a son need a father. I need Him in my life cause He's my everything. They can offer me the world, now I'll pass on it, man. As long as I got Jesus, I got everything.
I remember being a kid and looking up to the sky. I would see all the stars and I would ask why. Why is the universe so big? I know it's not all for me. There has to be something bigger. There's just gotta be. I would try to count them all, but they just seem so far. I dreamed of being an astronaut to be closer to where they are. The way they lit the sky was like a well thought out painting. I wanted to know who this artist was and see what else he was making. There's a hunger in our soul that's not filled from what we've been eating. It's time to change that diet up and get this dead heart beating. I've heard Jesus is the bread of life, but is there any left for me? It's then I hear a gentle whisper, come eat, I have plenty. When I heard His invitation, I had to give it a whirl. Yes, the bread that I just ate is out of this world. He filled that eternal appetite nothing else could satisfy. Now it all makes perfect sense. He is the reason why. Before Jesus came in to save my life, I was just a set of bones, dry bones. But he took these bones and breathed life into them. He took my shame and gave me salvation. He took my mess and gave me his perfection. I went from hopeless to hopeful, empty to so full. I continue to fall, but I'm being sanctified as he continues to pull on my heart and bring me closer to him. And now I can't help but speak about him. You see, I serve a king who had every right yet laid down his life. You can't earn God's love, but he gave it. You can't build a bridge, but he made it. You can't make your life perfect, you exchange it. You can't pay for forgiveness, but your debt, he paid it. Jesus was the perfect lamb that was sacrificed for you and me. He trades our sin for his righteousness so that we can be free. And free is what we are when we place our trust in him. If this truth was a stone, it'd be the most valuable gem. Like newborn babies, helpless is what we are. Our Heavenly Father picks us up and holds us to his heart. The love God has for you is beyond what you can comprehend. He is ever faithful and sticks closer than a friend. His love is not dependent on how good you can be. I know what you're thinking. Wow, even me? There was not one person who was excluded from his love. It fills the universe from the bottom to up above. Even those who deny his existence or curse his very name, nobody can change his love. He loves us all the same. Before the foundation of the world, God loved and chose you. This ain't just all talk, man. Look to the cross. There's the proof. I know it's hard to understand, but there's nothing you have to do. Dying on the cross, Jesus said, "It is finished." And that he meant for you. He lived the life we couldn't live and died the death we deserved. He satisfied the wrath of God. I know it sounds absurd. The old me was buried with Christ, his lifeless body placed in the grave. 3 days later, he's alive again, and with him I was also raised. That should have been me hanging on the cross. He took my place. No, it's not fair. It's unmerited favor, also known as grace. My heart to wonder, yes, I am prone. But Jesus is my Savior. I am never alone. He shed his blood for me. The least I can do is hand on my heart. He knows everything about me, yet will never depart. You don't think there's enough grace to cover you and me? If you were a grain of sand, his grace would be the sea. Stop trying to clean yourself up. It hasn't worked so far. Jesus wants you now, just as you are. When you look in the mirror, what is it that you see? Jesus can turn any mess into his masterpiece.
Get right in the zone and let your light be shown. That's how we do it here at Myownzone TV, where we're building a bridge between talent and people to share their light with the world. Keep in mind, God is fighting your battles. There's nothing too big for him to handle. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms. Subscribe, like, and share the love. See you next time.